Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Vendor Voices podcast. We're switching it up today. We're coming at you live, and we have a special guest, Grace from Simply Elegant. She's a wedding planner. We're here at 7-Star Venue at the Spring Forward Expo, and so we thought, why not switch it up and give you guys a little sneak peek into what it's like coming around with us for the day at a wedding expo.
We're about to hear some amazing tips from Grace when it comes to wedding planning and a bride mishap that you do not want to miss. So stick tuned till the end. And we've been talking about wedding expos for a while now on the podcast, so we finally brought you to one. And shout out to 7-Star again. An amazing venue. If you're in Chicago, check them out. Thank you for hosting us, and we can't wait. So let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
Hi everyone, my name is Grace. I'm a lead planner with Simply Elegant Group here in Chicago.
What is your favorite part of being in the planning industry?
I would probably say being the person that calms everyone's nerves on day of. I love being the point person for that kind of thing.
I could see being really good at that.
Brides specifically, right before ceremony, usually are like, oh my, this is actually happening. And my favorite thing to say is, this is the hardest part. After this, it's just a party. All you have to do is kiss in front of all of your family and friends, and then it's just a massive party.
Yeah, that's so cute. I love that. What do couples often forget to ask about wedding planning?
Oh, that's a good question. I would say the little things with catering and venues, checking to make sure they have enough chairs and tables, making sure that there's enough space for guests. So I would just say watch out for those little things. Definitely read your contracts. The contracts and the proposals that vendors will provide for you will list out every single thing that they're offering and will not include anything that they're not offering. So just being really careful about that. A lot of people just assume it's combined.
I'm curious. I know you're in the industry.
Yes.
What would you say is the percentage of couples that are like, I need a photographer and a videographer versus couples that are like, I only want photo?
Yes. To me, it seems very personality based. My very outgoing brides definitely have a video team there as well, because it catches the things that photo might miss. Some of the more reserved brides who don't necessarily like being on camera usually shy away from video, but then realize that video is the most candid thing ever. It's not posed unless you want it to be.
Yeah, I like that quote that's like, a photo says 1,000 words, but video says all the words.
Yes. No, absolutely. I really think, obviously, wedding photos are gorgeous, but video really captures a new element, especially if you're using drone work and stuff like that. Yep. It really tells like a story of your day. Back when my parents got married, there was a wedding video, but it was just like a tripod set up.
Totally.
Videography is so much more advanced now, and we still watch my parents' wedding video.
Yeah.
So that's something that you show your kids later on if you really want them to be transported to the day, because we all know exactly how my parents' wedding went down, because we've seen it so many times.
Aww.
But percentage, I'd probably say it's 40-60 split, 40 going with video, 60 only photo. I think more people should do video, by the way, if you couldn't tell.
What makes Simply Elegant different than other planners in Chicago?
I love this question. Shout out Simply Elegant. You guys rock. Essentially, the biggest thing that we have is the preferred vendor list. So we add companies to our list if we've worked with them, they're tried and true, we know that they will provide you a magical day, and in return, they give some sort of discount to the couple. Now, the nice thing about this is that if you use an entire preferred vendor list for your wedding planner ends up being free because of the amount of things that you get taken off that you would have had to pay for. And that can range from free wine service to an extra bus for transportation. We work with all different companies, whether it's catering, venues, photography, and everything in between.
Love that.
And that is by far the biggest perk to couples. Obviously, we're okay with you not using the preferred vendor list for certain things. However, it's really to your benefit because you save so much money at the end of the day. I feel like couples, when they first come in, if they don't necessarily know what they're doing, they just do a quick Google search and look for a 5-star thing.
Sure.
That doesn't tell you how you connect with your vendors, about their personality or the quality of their work. And what I really like about our preferred vendor list is that it ranges in pricing. It's not a one-size-fits-all type of list. We have vendors that are cheaper, some that are more expensive, to match any couple for whatever budget, which
So it's-
I really like about it.
So it's not only your wedding's
Correct.
like over $200,000 or something like that. It's,
Exactly.
Oh, we have a vendor for your budget.
Yes.
Wow.
And if you're not listening from Chicago, we do have other offices in Minneapolis, Dallas, and Kansas City. And they all have their own preferred vendor list specific to their location.
Amazing.
That's
Yeah.
great. That's great. Okay, fun question for you. Grace, would you rather plan 3 small weddings that are all happening in one weekend or one massive wedding?
Honestly, I think I would do the big one because smaller weddings, specifically with us, that would be one of our 7-hour day of packages. That's okay, but I really like to sleep the next day, even if it is just 7 hours of work.
Yeah.
I really do to reset and then
Yeah.
approach the next week. So I would rather do one big wedding and feel really accomplished after
Yeah.
it.
Favorite
Interesting.
venue?
Oh, I definitely have my favorite venue. I love 7-star, but it's not 7-star yet because I have never planned here. Once I plan here, it'll definitely be in my top 5. This place is fantastic. My favorite venue, I'll start there and then I'll move out. My favorite so far has been Galleria Marchetti in
love.
West Loop. I absolutely love it there. It's so gorgeous. And I have the immense privilege to plan 3 weddings there this year. So I will be going back and I'm very excited. In terms of where my weddings have been, so I actually do all of the Chicagoland area. When I first started, I got a wedding in Milwaukee. And I met one of my best friends who plans, and she decided that since that point, I would plan with her on all of her other weddings for the rest of the summer. Shout out Valerie if you see this.
Come on,
I love
Valerie.
you.
So you go to Milwaukee then a lot for those? Just
Yeah,
to
so
come
I did
here,
pretty
or vice
50,
versa?
did like 30-70, so I had about 30% in Milwaukee because I did the rest of her weddings. She was just on maternity leave and had a beautiful baby
Oh
girl.
my gosh.
So I assisted her on all of her weddings. Wow. Yeah.
That's so nice.
Other than that, I was in Chicago. It was pretty 50-50 on if I was going to be in the suburbs or not. But I do have access to a car, so I'm willing to travel if given the opportunity.
Yeah,
That's awesome. Yeah, I
for
feel like
sure.
I would say about 50% of my weddings are also in the burbs.
Montebello
Yes.
is fantastic.
Yes.
I love Montebello.
I'm thinking of the one that's like the,
Oh.
you shot it with me. I'm thinking it was with Nick, the big park with the hedges. I can't think of the name. It starts
don't
with
know
an
which
A. Dang it. But
The Morton Arboretum?
yes, Morton
Okay.
Arboretum.
I
That's
did
what it
so many
was.
weddings there. I absolutely
really?
loved it.
I love
yeah,
it.
I grew
Thank
up
you
going
for-
to the Morton Arboretum.
Okay, I was like, the A word was the Arboretum. Okay, that's what it was.
Yes.
Wow. Thank you for
No,
pulling
that's
that
a
out.
fantastic location. I love them.
So great. I love for the drone shots there with the tall
Oh,
hedges, like people
absolutely.
walking through.
I
so
also
pretty.
love the Armor House
Yes.
venue.
Armor
That's one of
House
my
is
favorites. I've shot
fantastic.
many weddings there.
Speaking of, you have this vendor list. What is it
Yeah.
like working alongside somebody on your preferred vendor list?
Rarely do I work with the same person twice. Our vendor list is pretty big, and it's also not guaranteed that they are from that list, if you get what I'm saying. And if they're not, we usually offer it then and there if we have a fantastic experience with them. I love that system. It's just easier for me. It's very clear who's preferred and who isn't.
Yes.
These people truly are some of the best in the business. So it makes the day just go smooth, and there's less hiccups, and you just have a really good team to rely on. As planners, we're head honcho on essentially everything, but you don't want to step on toes. There's going to be things that catering is going to know better than a wedding planner, for example.
100%.
Like timing that out and making sure that you're in communication with them. There are certain people that take that better than others, and everyone on our vendor list is very used to having things change for whatever reason, and it just overall goes so smoothly, and I can just immediately tell when someone is like really put effort into the craft.
I think this is probably going to be one of our final questions here.
Okay.
But we're talking about changing of plans and things just going with the
Yes.
flow.
Yeah.
But what is one of the biggest changes or adjustments that you've had to make
Oh my goodness.
on the day of a wedding?
This is my
a really
favorite
good
story to
question.
tell. It was my first wedding that I had ever worked.
Of course.
And the bride ripped her contact 5 minutes before having to walk down the aisle.
Oh my gosh.
And poor girl was blind as a bat, unfortunately. She did not have an extra set of contacts. We're 50 miles outside of like the city center. So we were really in the middle of nowhere. I'm alone with the bride. My lovely lead planner, Valerie, was adjusting and setting up everyone at ceremony. It was very far away from where the bride was getting ready. I'm just trying to keep this woman calm. We come to the conclusion that she has to do ceremony with only one contact in, but that during ceremony, I would call every single target in the area to see if I can get her a set of contacts. Thankfully, one of the Target opticals stayed open for me to get there to get her a pair of contacts, and I made it back right before reception.
Lifesaver.
Yes,
Grace
I made it
is
right
a
back before
lifesaver.
reception, and she was forever grateful. But luckily, the bride had practiced her vows so many times prior to walking down the aisle that she knew it.
Wow.
So she didn't really need to see it. And
Oh
I
my
say
God.
That is a skill.
So good.
But
That's
yeah.
so good.
If you wear contacts and you are a bride or a groom, bring backups.
Yes, absolutely. Pack double of everything
Yeah.
except for your wedding dress, I would say.
Amazing tip.
Always have doubles. Men, please pack an extra shirt.
Please, you
Please.
need it. It's
Yeah.
hot
Especially
out.
if you're getting married in
the
busy
summer.
season and it's nice and hot
and
outside.
It's summer and you're sweating.
All right. Thank you so much
Thank
for having
you.
me on.
It was
Thank
so
you,
great.
Grace.
Yes.
It was so lovely.
Of course.
Yeah, and
Thank you
congra-
guys for listening.
Good luck on you're going into full season right now.
Yes.
So good luck on that.
Yes, my
And-
first one is a full planner, so
Amazing.
very excited.
As a lead planner.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, we'll see you out there and we'll
Thank you.
get on a wedding with you possibly.
Absolutely.
That'd be amazing.
So thanks for hopping on.
Thank
Of
you.
course.
Bye guys.
Bye.